Hi there. As I always say, whenever you're preparing for success, always prepare for public speaking. Whenever you're preparing to scale up or to be promoted at whatever you work, always prepare for public speaking. Do you know the reason? Because at a particular point or the other, you will be asked how you got to where you are, or you will be told to address a group of people to tell them one or two things, or to give you an instruction, or to be a face of the organization. And at that moment, it might be too late to prepare. I never intend to talk about this today, but something has been happening for quite some days now. I've been receiving messages, calls from some sets of directors. Yes, some set of directors. And they have sent me a message. These are directors, or should I say, head of schools that have been newly appointed. And they are having an issue, which is addressing people. You see that they have prepared for every aspect of being head of school, the administrative work, the leadership work, but there is a particular aspect that they have not prepared for, and that is public speaking. So it is the end of the session now, and they have been called to give a speech. Now, what are they going to say? So I asked some of them, do you have a challenge with what to say? Do you know their response? The response was, really, I can go to Google, I can ask AI and get what to say. Then what seems to be the problem? Are you scared of standing in front of people? No, they said, oh no, I stand in front of colleagues, I give speech, I talk to them about, I give them instruction. Then what seems to be the problem? I don't know how to deliver a speech in front of various people. And that is their challenge. So So I'm tired of receiving all these messages. And that is the major reason I am doing this video. The purpose of this video is to be a guide for any other person that will be calling my phone and telling me, I need a guide, I need this. And I feel this video will be explanatory enough. It's going to be able to do justice to all that problem. So let's dive into this. But before we dive into this, have you subscribed? Please like and drop a comment. And don't forget, here in Speech Power, if you join us or stick with us for a long time, you will become a very fantastic public speaker. So, if you were just starting, it's your first time to stand in front of people to give a speech, how do you go about it? So, the first thing I will recommend for you is that first, you need to prepare. Yes, prepare. Now, what does preparation entail? If possible, I would advise that you can memorize everything about the script or your speech. Just try to know everything about your speech as if you are preparing for an exam. Preparing for an exam in the sense that as if you were asked a question, you can give them the total knowledge concerning everything that is in that script. So that is one thing you need to do. And in doing this, I'm not asking you to memorize everything that is in the script word for word and come in front of people and deliver the speech without the book. No, I'm not asking you to do that. What I'm asking you to do is get more familiar, become more knowledgeable with what you want to tell people so that it can feel natural, feel original. In case you miss a line in the script, you still know what you're talking about. That's the essence of preparation, knowing what is in the script. Prepare. Then, after preparation, you might ask me, what is the next phase? The next phase is practice. The next phase is what? Practice. And the question begs this response or this statement. How do you mean practice? Preparation, practice. Are they not the same thing? Now, in this case, preparation means knowing what you want to say, while practice simply refers to knowing how you want to say what you want to say. Do you get the difference? I know what I want to say, but this time I want to know how to deliver it. So having the container is one, the channel at which the content and the container will come outside and the way you want it to come outside is another ballgame entirely. And that is why you need to now practice. So after you've known everything you want to talk about, now you need to practice how you are to deliver what you want to talk about. So, how do you practice? Now, the first thing I recommend for every person is this: your introduction. Your introduction is where your speech or your speech delivery or whatever you are delivering, you're presenting, can either live or die. That is the life. Do you know why? I'll explain. In your introduction, when you're coming in front of people, that is where the butterflies in your belly are multiplied by 100. There's a flying in every direction. That is where the fear, the doubt comes in. So you need to practice your introduction so well that even if you're afraid, you can deliver it even when you are at your worst. If your voice is shaking, if you don't have yourself well organized, you must still be able to deliver that introduction very well. So I often advise people that are just starting to practice their introduction for more than 20 times, at least 20 times. If you can do this very well, if you start your speech and your introduction is okay, your the butterflies in your stomach would have started calming down, and they must have been like, okay, I think we are ready for business. And by this time, you can then move into the next part of your speech, the middle. Your nerves are calmer by then. Then you can get connected to your script by then, and you will be able to proceed. So that is one of the reasons why you need to practice your introduction very, very well. Another reason why you need to practice your introduction very well is that your introduction is the decision making point. It is where your listeners decide, are we staying with this person or are we not staying with this person? So, how you start your speech will determine if your listeners will say, okay, this person is believable, or this person, let's follow the ideas, let's follow what this person wants to say. So, you cannot afford to stumble in your introduction. But if you stumble in the middle, it's quite pardonable. You can cover up for it when you're about to end. So, but if you have a problem with your introduction, just imagine this way: you have a sandwich, and you have a dirt on the sandwich, not inside. The person rejects it immediately. But by the time you have a dirt in it, the person might have started eating and okay, just a little mistake, let me take this out. Okay, but the person has started, the person has paid for it already. And if the other part of the sandwich is so delicious, the person might overlook and say, okay, maybe there might not be such a thing in the other sandwich, but buy another one. But on it, the person is like, no way. There is no way I'm buying this sandwich, and there is no way I'm buying another one. I don't care how delicious the sandwich is. So that is the major reason why your introduction must be firm. Rehearse it at least 20 times. Then another thing that you need to do so that you can scale through. Remember, you're giving a speech. And when you're giving a speech, you'll be having a booklet or a script. Yes. So when you're having a booklet or a script, you must do something. You must break your words into smaller groups. Into smaller groups. Why should you break your words into smaller groups? So that you can say this word smoothly and you don't lose your breath. If you say a long group of words together and you start losing your breath, you start breathing very fast. And automatically, by the time you're not calm, by the time you're not in control, you are likely to make a lot of mistakes. And the fear starts showing on your face, and your listeners start wondering, do we need to call the ambulance or is this person really okay? So that you don't want to put your listeners in that condition. So what are you supposed to do? Group your words in the script. So, and while you're grouping it, you have a line there showing the pauses. And in between those pauses, you are to observe about 2 seconds pauses. So, ladies and gentlemen, 1, 2. So, the 1, 2, your face is buried in the book. Ladies, and so you've read in the first part, you raise your head. Ladies and gentlemen, 1, 2. Pioneer and founder of this great citadel. 1, 2. Our dear parents. 1, 2. And graduating pupils. 1, 2. It's a wonderful day to celebrate. One, two. And I'm so glad to be here. Now, look at what is happening there. For each time you're pausing, one, two, you look into your book. The next group of words, not so long, that make sense together. You look at them in the eyes and you deliver it. After you deliver it, you take another pause. You look back into the book. So you are not supposed to have all your face buried in the book and you start reading from there and you ignore them totally. No, you're not supposed to do that. And at the same time, the book is not there for fashion. So you're not supposed to just be talking to them, and you go out of what is written for you. So you must be able to observe your pauses after grouping your words together. And once you can do that, even though it is your first time of giving a speech in front of a large number of people, you'll discover that you'll be getting the applause after that wonderful presentation. So this is a very nice way to cover up for, even though um, I don't have all the experience in public speaking, but you can still use this video to serve as a guide that can help you not to make a bad speech presentation. My name is Eniola, and I'm your speech elocution coach. So remember, you're still on Speech Power, and it's not about what you say, it's about how you say it. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and drop a comment. Bye. God bless you.